pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make sure to silence your phones, like I usually forget to do. All village trustees and myself are present. So we'll get right into it. Treasurer's report.
Hello, everybody. I have handed out all the reports as normal, the projections, the budget report, and balance sheet were loaded up onto the Google Drive, so you should have access to that. If you have any questions, let me know. Where we're at year to date is listed. Again, this is going to be changing substantially as I do accruals for expenses and revenues, so this is just the kind of starting point. I've just started now working on a couple year-end entries, so we'll be full on our way here the next couple weeks, a few weeks. Village tax collection has begun. It began on June 3rd through the close of business Friday, June 14th. We had collected just over 1.5 million. That was about 21.75% of the just over $7 million warrant. About the same time, or same percentage last year was 22%. I believe about $1 million of it was actual tax collections, people coming in the door in the mail box. Only I think $500,000 of that total was the escrow payments, which ratchet up quickly. But I'd say about $1 million has been coming in the first couple of weeks, so people are running quite a bit. Financial statements for the year 22-23 still have not been finalized by the auditors. I believe I CC'd everybody on the email yesterday. I've had no response from them, so.
We're gonna have to talk about it in the longer.
Yeah. We can't do this again. I even included the partner on that email and no response from him either, so. And last, we have fully converted to the new New York State retirement reporting system as of May's reporting. So this month and the next couple, I think this month and maybe next month, they are still going to be assisting us for reporting to make sure it goes through smoothly, because it is quite differently. But we made it through May and it reported okay. So that is all I have. If you have any questions?
Questions from the treasurer? Committee reports. Code enforcement.
I don't have any. We postponed, but there's a ton between now and the office. Yeah. If you want to share anything, or
It's just been very crazy, very hectic.
Seems like everybody got caught up in their mowing after the rain stopped.
Yes, after the first initial rounds of things, it's, once it's completely settled down, but it's less than this, so.
Good. DPW.
Just a couple things. Center Street project, still aiming to get that started by the end of the year, but right now we're having some issues with right-of-way documents. We need those to move the project forward, and they're having some issues with one party there, so working on it. One other thing that Ken had sent out, I do think we need to look at possibly some yield signs at the Bridges Avenue.
I was going to mention that later.
Okay.
Whatever. So I'll just talk about it. So I had a new neighbor, right? And there's a bunch of kids in my neighborhood now. I live in the Ransom Bridges area. Certain times of the day it's a raceway, just like every street in the village, I get it. But there's a merge there, there's a village park, kids, and so the neighbor asked me if I would reach out. I did to PD and DPW and Chelan just to get their thoughts on it. I don't know if the yield will help people slow down, because it's kind of funky, right? You go to Elm Circle, there's yield signs everywhere, but that's just a funky little.
I sat over there 3 days in a row, and there was some,
We have a nice porch and we sit on it all summer, and I'm surprised there hasn't been just something. But I do wanna mention, because I wasn't here last month because I was out sick, the park looks awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys talked about that last
We did,
month, but the park looks awesome.
So the second half will be done in the fall.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Great, super. Economic development.
Not too much going on. I was sick as well. I think I got it again. Thank you very much. Plans moving forward for Fall Fest. That is scheduled for October 12th. And I've just been talking a little bit with community members. I still continue to reach out regarding business and potential openings, but nothing concrete on that.
Chamber of Commerce is doing a weekend garage sale
This weekend.
this coming weekend. Emergency services.
Met earlier this week, discussed a couple of different things. There's some protocol changes coming from above, which are going to change some of the prices on different things. Squad is being created proactive right now and hoping to maybe involve PAB to keep costs down. Also, three new members.
Oh, good.
Department Hardy, do you have any?
No, nothing to add to that.
Anything else? Fire.
Nothing to report other than we're making arrangements to include the community periodically in the fair.
Gotcha. Good. Personnel committee.
We started the next round of interviews, but no action taken tonight.
Okay. Rec.
We had a meeting June 11th. Softball's up and going. The leagues have been going well. Rec's been working on making the fields lined and looking good. They had a tournament this past Saturday. The beach open Memorial Day weekend. Normal beach hours with a lifeguard on duty during the summer are 11 to 8 p.m. The Ted Caught Fishing Derby had about 35 to 40 participants a couple weekends ago. Lots of prizes and free gifts were handed out. Mr. McCabe was the grill master. Anita Warner was hired as the new summer therapeutic rec director.
Some new business with them. Soccer registration's been open. I think it's actually closed. I think I saw something on Facebook. 300 kids, which is still a lot of kids. Massena Rec is gonna start next, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, June 26th. At the 3 elementaries at Alcoa Park, run 6.5 weeks, and the kids will also get a nice free lunch. Alcoa cleanup, Alcoa Park cleanup was last weekend. Community event, bouncy houses, and the summer concert series has started. I know they have a nice lineup posted on Facebook, so looking forward to that myself.
Super. Anything else? Anything we missed, guys? Okay, thank you. Initial public comment period. Anyone wishing to address the board, please stand up, state your name, where you live, and what's your business? Sean?
Do I come up or do I just?
Oh, you can, right there's fine.
Okay, cool. So hi, I'm Shoshana Ross. I technically live in Potsdam, but I work in Massena, hence why I'm here. I work for the Unity for Massena Youth Coalition, and is it okay if I come up to give you guys some
Sure,
documents? Yeah?
absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
And so one of the things that we have to do, I'm sorry I don't have enough for everyone, I couldn't figure out.
We'll share. It's okay. Thank you.
There you go.
That's on the article.
There you go. Thank you. And, oh wait, no, wrong copies. I apologize. And so what we do is we just try to do policy change through our grant. We have an OASIS grant, which is the Offices of Addiction Services, and so we try to do substance use prevention in Massena for Massena's youth. And so one of the things that we noticed was that you guys have a tobacco control policy that was put into place in 2015 here in the village and the town. And so one of the things that we just wanted to propose was changing the original policy that you guys have from no, like the tobacco, to no substance use in general. And so if you flip to page, the last page, page 5, it adds in the point 8, which is the new proposed amendment, which just talks about just changing it from no smoking to no substance use. I included all the definitions of what we were talking about. So again, alcohol, cannabis, illegal drugs, inhalants, prescription medications, any other substance. We are proposing that you guys use and keep the same enforcement that was in the original policy, and then just adding in any educational programs that you guys would deem would be fit if someone violated that policy, which would, you know, entail giving out resources to kids if they get caught using any substances, you know, anything else that the police would find doable if they were caught, anything else that you guys would want to do with that. But educational purposes, we would recommend using any of the many programs that we have here, which would be the Coalition. We are in partnership with Horizon, so that's a means. Citizen Advocates is another means. And so any programs that help with substance use in Massena. I think that's all I got, so thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Oh, wait, I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, I hope that's okay. I just wanted to use some data to back up exactly what we're saying, because the Coa Park cleanup that you talked about, that was my coalition that put that on. We also did a field day on Saturday to promote this, but we did do a survey in Massena. We had about 400 participants, just to talk about some stuff. And so we did have about 69% of our participants who filled out the survey about Old Coa Park did say that they did not feel safe about going to Alcoa on their own. And then the other one was 91% of the 400 that did fill out the survey are in favor of doing a no substance use policy. So just wanted to let you guys know that's what we found.
Shoshana, when you said Alcoa Park, are you talking more about the basketball court area, or are you talking about the softball field?
For the policy? Or
No,
what we did?
for the survey that you did.
Oh, when we
Did
did
you
a
distinguish?
survey, it was Alcoa in general.
Okay,
So both parts, any part of Alcoa, just anyone who would go there other than any, like a softball game or like an event that we did, just to use the park and hang out.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else under public comment? Yes,
Laura Pearson from the St. Lawrence County Chamber.
hi Laura.
Hi, I just wanted to give you guys an updated report on what we've been working on in the county. You'll see that Massena's at the top of the pile. You're welcome. Garage sales, I looked at the Facebook post today, there were over 800 people who liked it.
Good.
And we have over 30 signed up for the garage sales for this weekend. And it's an interactive map, so when you click on it, it'll show where all the residences are. So if businesses wanted to try to reach out to people in their neighborhood to promote it and get people in their doors, you could do that as well. We had a tourism dinner. We had Dairy Princess in Canton. June's been a busy month. We had barbecue in Ogdensburg. So we've been all over the county this month. So if you need anything, holler at me, please. Please make sure you let me know if you need anything. I will be out of the office the first 2 weeks of July. I'm going to Arkansas for vacation, so I won't be available.
Good for you.
But hopefully it won't. It's going to be hotter than
Yes.
this. So I'm getting ready. So,
Laura,
yes.
I did have somebody reach out about potentially doing a car event here in Massena. They didn't specify if they wanted to do it like weekly, monthly, once a year.
Okay.
But if it's okay, I'll provide them.
Sure, send them my way.
Or
I do
vice
barbecue in Ogdensburg, yes.
That's-
Yes. And
Okay.
we've been doing barbecue for 20 years in Ogdensburg. I haven't been doing it that long, I've been doing it 10 years, but I'd be happy to reach out. What we'd like to do, there were a lot of car shows the same weekend of barbecue that we didn't know about until the day of barbecue. So I'm going to reach out to all those places this year before next year, so we can get them all on the calendar and figure out if we can stagger them so we're not all competing for the same people. Because, there's a lot of car people out there, but they have to pick and choose what they want to go to. And my day was cloudy, so my numbers were 50. I had almost 100 last year, so. But we do a lot of free activities for the kids at barbecue. Kiwanis helps us, the Fort and Rotary help us. So I'd be interested in trying to help with something like that here if somebody was interested in doing that. Okay?
Great.
All right, thanks, Monique.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Sure, go ahead.
Hi, Ron LaRue, formerly of Sherwood Drive, now on 24 Walnut Avenue. Trying to figure out how to make this real quick. After replacing 4 recyclable bins and 2 lids, because of the way that the garbage bin take care of stuff that isn't theirs, I bought a more expensive, yes, knowing 40 gallons was over, but it's the smallest I could find that wasn't going to get destroyed. And now all of a sudden, after using it for 2 years, my recycling is now no longer being picked up out of that. I'm just kind of curious to why all of a sudden, and if there's a way to change it to make it 40 gallons, because it's a recyclable bin. It's not like all the paper in it is that heavy.
It's part of the code, and unfortunately, for some reason, the garbage men on their own decided to start tagging a few. And then an individual complained, and it forced everyone to tag everybody else. Mine was a 45 gallon. I had a 45 gallon recycling bin and a 45 gallon garbage can. And they let me use it since I moved up on Westwood for 3 years. And then all of a sudden, when that individual got tagged, they walked around the neighborhood, got tagged, and has the same one as I had. Well, guess what? He knew where I lived. First person he looked and said, "You didn't tag that guy." So, kind of forced everyone's hand. It's unfortunate. I wish they would have been doing this from the word go. This isn't on Marty. This was a previous. But, yeah, it created some very strong opinions. I could play some of the messages that we got, but I can't play that publicly. But I apologize. All I can say to you is I apologize. I had to buy 2 new garbage cans, and I didn't realize garbage cans could be that expensive. Because I like the ones that flip, so you don't lose the lid.
That's what I have.
The funny thing is, the 32 gallon can that I bought is heavier than the 45 gallon cans that I have.
And I also have had to replace lids because they don't put them back on.
Yeah.
They just throw them in the driveway. If it's a windy day, they go floating down the road and don't have any clue. So I'm fine with having to buy new garbage cans and having to buy new lids. I'm fine with that. If I can get some way, you know, I have a Ring camera. I can show you every week them picking up my garbage cans, which are not the one, because those are 34, and then just and throwing the lids. And when they're there, the lids are on top, fastened, so that the animals can't get into it.
Yep.
And if I don't do that, and I don't put the lids out, and the animals get into it, they don't take it. I'm stuck cleaning up the mess. So I'm fine with having to buy them, but there has to be something and some accountability for these men to take care of stuff that's not theirs.
We'll work on it. I'm sure Marty will chit-chat with them. Even if something is done, I can't, discipline-wise, I can't say it publicly, but we'll have a chit-chat with everyone involved, I promise you. They know everyone is not happy. So, all I can do is apologize to you.
So, and then going back to my question, is there a way to change that policy?
Well,
You
that
said
might-
it's code, which I get, and I know it's a big process, but is there a way to change it? So we can have the better garbage cans
There might
and
be a
not.
discussion at the end of the, under new business.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Terry DeBray, Sherwood Drive in Massena. Just lending my voice to this issue as well, that after multiple recycling bins being destroyed, I'm not buying new ones as long as this pattern of carelessness is going to continue. So, just another voice publicly added to this issue.
And if you don't want to buy a blue recycling bin, get a garbage can, spray an R on it.
That's what I did.
Yep. But thank you.
I tied the rope so the top doesn't blow down the road. And if it does, they blow together, then I can find it.
Yeah. I will say sometimes there's not a lot they can do.
Yeah, on windy days.
You know, like middle
Sure.
of January, when when I was living on Andrews and that wind was howling, I'm pretty sure half of my garbage can lids were down at the fire station. You know, I mean, but I think everyone understands that, but it's other times.
Well, and even if you put it back on and snap it on, which takes 2 seconds, is less likely for the garbage lid to go flying down the road. You know, like I said, I have no problem buying them, but I don't want to go and spend $30. Well, I have 10 people in my house, so we produce a 40 gallon, a 34 gallon, which is destroyed from being thrown around, and normally we have to put out our recycle bin that we keep in the house every week, every other week, sorry, when we have all 10 of us. So, I mean, we produce a lot of recyclable stuff.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of, I have no problem doing it, but I don't want to go do it if it's going to be destroyed in 6
I think
months.
one of my cans has 100 tie wraps on it that I can put it back together with.
No, and that's fine, but it shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
It shouldn't happen. We shouldn't have to.
for sure. Understood. Anyone else?
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
My name is Cheryl Ann Weeks, and I ironic that I meet this lovely young lady here. This lovely young lady is one of the reasons why I moved to Massena. And she didn't know, but I was supposed to move to Potsdam. I ended up in Massena at 2 Willow, on 2 Willow Street. And I just wanted to come to the village meeting to say, hey, can we get rid of that landlord? Whatever I need to do, whatever you guys suggest, you know, petitions, whatever, I have evidence on top of evidence. He thinks that you guys are jokes, that you guys can't do nothing to him. So whenever you guys are ready, I am now at 29 Sycamore. So please, we need to get this man out of Massena. He should never be able to rent another property in my town. So thank you. Once again, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. The winters don't bother me. I work from home, but I am 100% on board for cleaning up Massena, making Massena great again. But in order to do that, 2 Willow needs to be shut down, tore down, refurbished, however. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on. We do not have any old business, so we'll jump into the new business. Just writing myself. A proposed resolution to authorize a revised community center tenant lease agreement with the neighborhood center. I'll entertain a motion. Moved by trustee Winston, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Please. I believe the change is because they wanted to rent.
There's a small office space there that is and has been vacant for quite some time, and they have expanded the services that they offer there. I believe there's now a thrift store of such, and they were running out of room from all the donations, and then they were blocking their freezers for the food bank to deliver
It's
food.
all my wife's daughter's clothing that we donated.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it went up very minimal dollars. They already rent. Now they'll essentially have that whole entire wing. So this is just a really small area that we've added to it.
I think the charge is like an extra $50 a month or something like that.
No, 27.
$27 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent some time over there last week donating stuff, and the guy showed me around. They're really, if somebody needs something, they have it.
Yeah,
so.
they're great.
Okay, it's a roll call vote. Trustee Peets.
Aye.
Trustee McGowan.
Aye.
Trustee Winston.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Next up is the proposed resolution to authorize the agreement with E5 Support Services and Massena Volunteer Emergency Unit Incorporated for purposes related to emergency medical services. I'll entertain a motion. Moved by trustee Simpson, second. Second by trustee Winston. This contract would be for the sum of $337,661.21. It's a self-sustaining. It doesn't add to the tax rate or tax base. It's, yeah. And it's cheaper. They actually, we tried to expand, but found out that was too expensive. The E5 came up with this solution. Pretty confident. Really going back to what it was. Plus, with new volunteers coming in, that should help a lot as well. Any other questions? It's a roll call vote. Trustee Peets.
Aye.
Trustee McGowan.
Aye.
Trustee Winston.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. The per diem travel policy. We're still in the midst of that, but
Yeah, essentially, we're gonna end up following New York State's travel policy. That's very in-depth, and a lot of the policies in there, like if they have a travel card, so on and so forth, we don't have nor offer, so it's, I just am revising it to fit the needs of the village, and we should have it beginning of next week for your review prior.
If you need any help, let me know. I travel extensively for work, so
I plan on sending it to everybody for their review and recommendation, so I appreciate that.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay. Solid waste collection, this is one that I brought up. I think it would be appropriate to have a public hearing in regards to the size of the garbage cans. Specifically, I'd like to see it go to 45 gallons. I think that's the one that a lot of people have. Some people probably already have that, went out and maybe bought some new ones, but I would say keep the 40, go up to 45 gallons, but it still can't be heavier than 40 pounds. Like I said, the two cans that I bought are heavier than the 45-gallon can I had. So it's, I think if we could have a public hearing at the next village board meeting to discuss that, I think that would be what to do. We could have that at 5:30 on the, when is it?
July 6th.
July 16th.
Yeah.
So I'd entertain a motion to have a public hearing on an increase in the size of garbage and recycling bins. Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. Any questions?
You should go up to 40.
Up to 45,
Sorry.
but again, still cannot be heavier than 40 pounds. All those in favor of holding that public hearing? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, proposed resolution to accept the purchase offer, for a vacant parcel at 56 and a half North Main Street. Entertain a motion? Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Winston. $2,530 was the offer.
So, go.
I was just gonna say, we have to sell it pursuant to, village law, we have to sell it for fair and adequate consideration. And the property was assessed at quite, at $7,400. It's a non-buildable lot, and it has been assessed that since they created that parcel, actually. And so I reached out to the assessor and asked her to look into it. She reviewed other comps and the rates that acreage and whatever is going for now, and she said that would be considered fair and adequate. And I did also have our attorney review the documents prior.
So that's where I was gonna go. I had a good idea where it was, so I brought it up on Zillow and then Allen Tunnel. I'm like, I know it's been vacant forever, right?
Since at least 2007.
And I'm all in favor of, if the village has land that can go on the tax rolls, whatever, right?
Right.
So, and if the assessor says that's a good price, then, she's the expert, so.
Additionally, it saves us money where we don't have to maintain it.
You don't have to mow it anymore,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, so.
Anything else? It's a roll call vote. Trustee Peets?
Aye.
Trustee McGowan?
Aye.
Trustee Winston?
Aye.
Trustee Simpson?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Finally, proposed resolution to authorize the professional engineering services agreement with Bella Associates in relation to Air Products Green Hydrogen Facility Project. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Peets, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Simpson. In essence, this is, so they can start billing us to take out the escrow. Talked with Air Products and they're fine with this. Anything else? Roll call vote, trustee Peets,
Aye.
trustee McGowan,
Aye.
trustee Winston,
Aye.
trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Sorry.
That's okay.
My-
Anybody want to take it back?
No, it's for my medicine.
Moving on, voucher warrants.
I'd like to make a motion for the voucher warrant signed by trustee Peets, myself, and Mayor Finkel are approved.
Second, please. Second by trustee Simpson. Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Monthly reports, I think we've read through, busy as always in terms of the fire and code Road, anything to add, Aaron?
We are, as of when I left work this afternoon, we've been 892 emergency calls this year so far.
What's that as compared to last year's, just out of curiosity?
We are up, obviously. I don't have that comparison,
Okay.
but I can tell you that from 2005 when I started here, that's about 3 years worth of calls.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, when I started in 2001, if we ran 350, that was a heavy year.
Yep, so we're staying steady over there.
Rescue squad, I think everyone saw the reports there as well. What is that, 234 or something along those lines? Up there.
No, that's,
Oh, okay. Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. Sure.
Everybody's busy.
Chief, police?
Yep, monthly report for May, our detectives adopted 10 new cases, issued 24 search warrants, had 3 felony arrests, including 1 murder arrest, and 1 felony warrant, seized 2 ounces of methamphetamine, and had 2 arrests, 2 A2 felony arrests, also for meth. Patrols had a pretty heavy month. Answered 1,009 calls for service for May. That's up about 200 calls from the previous month. Issued 28 traffic tickets, conducted 47 traffic stops, had 6 mental health custody issues, had 28 penal law arrests, and 7 motor vehicle accidents.
Thank you. Again, it was scary busy. Explore Massena?
It's on your Google Drive. I know that Jason has been busy working on Rockin' the River and that festival. Also, there's a couple other projects that he mentioned.
He's working with us for Fall Fest.
Yeah. I can't access anything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good. Communications and correspondence, I'll give a reminder about the cleanup procedure. So remember, you have to go pick up a voucher, and that's from July 10th through the 12th.
No, it's the entire month of
The
July.
entire month of July, from 10 to 12 or 1 to 3. If you can't get there, call and they can actually set up where they can mail it for you, okay? You gotta be able to show proof of village residency, whether it be water bill, tax bill, license or something. Cleanup to be dropped off at the transfer station August 19th through the 31st, normal business hours. Remember, it's closed on Wednesdays. We'll be posting more online on our social media. Make sure the road is covered or a fee is gonna be assessed, and that's not covered by the villages. Also, remember, we're not picking up branches right now. That doesn't start again until September. One thing I will mention is starting on July 3rd, the garbage crew is now going to be working Mondays through Fridays. And even though Wednesday is not a garbage day, that'll be the primary day where they're going out to pick up the waste bags, your grass clippings and stuff like that. So that will be from, I think their hours will be from 6 to 2. So that's probably gonna be I would guess, Marty, would you say the primary pickup for that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Is it still open over there? Well, Marty, if you want to do it yourself.
Pardon
Is
me?
the gate still open over?
Gate's still
Yeah,
open.
yeah. And that's been going well this year.
And yeah, and we had, with the storm last Thursday, we actually went around and did quite a bit of cleanup on Friday, and we did some pickup Monday too, because of the storm damage there
Yeah.
last Thursday, so. And there's some people that have, put some out that, talked to them, and some of them are nice enough to hook onto their trailer and take it over themselves, and, yeah, it seems to be a little quieter this year with that.
Super.
I had correspondence with.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The Hometown Heroes Committee reached out, and they're currently it's pretty exciting. They're working with Jostens yearbooks to create a veteran Massena Veterans Yearbook, instead of just having the banners out, it'll be something.
Yeah.
And they've got a few other projects that they're working on right now that weren't ready to share, but that one they were kind of excited about.
That's great. Once again, I think as this keeps expanding, and thank you to the DPW guys for putting those banners up. It really creates a nice little atmosphere.
Yeah,
It's
for
very
sure.
cool. Yeah. Really enjoy it. Anything else for correspondence, communication?
Oh, I just wanted to mention that we should be hearing regarding the Restore grant, I'm hoping anytime now for the Massena Art and Theater Association. Additionally, the two WIA water infrastructure improvement grant applications were submitted last Friday. One is for the Racket River Bridge crossing and the other one is for the 24-inch redundant water line from the intake, yes. And the last day to apply for the community is July 15th. This last round is really, we've seen a lot more interest in the program, so I encourage people who do intend on applying to do so sooner rather than later. Just to get it in.
Thank you. I think
Wait,
that-
sorry,
yeah,
I have
go
one
on.
more. We also, for the New York Main Street grant at the J.J. Newberry Building, this morning, got the environmental clearance from New York State, so they'll be able to begin working on the project activities, which is basically to address the structural and environmental issues there, like asbestos abatement and roof replacement, those types of things. Also with that grant, they intend, or the intent is to do some interior work and cleaning up around the building, so it takes a while. I had another person just reach out earlier this week and want to know the status of the grants, and I explained it. Tried to give updates at, every board meeting, however, it takes a while to visually see that there's been changes made to the buildings, but behind the scenes, there's a ton going on, and there's so many requirements, and they take a long time, so we're steadily working towards getting all that taken care of.
By a lot of work, Monique means she does a lot of the work in grants, that's what she means.
Yeah.
Okay. Closing public comment period. Any motion to address the board? Okay. I do not have a need for executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Pete, second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're adjourned.